we both read this article in the New Yorker just about the changing landscape of how media works across the board. And it's not so much about telling you the news. When I was a kid, I would watch SportsCenter would come on the first episode at 6 a.m., then they'd rerun it through basically noon, and then Strongman Competition would come off. And now we're very much a 24/7 discussion debate show, debate network. The origins of First Take, the origins of this embrace the debate notion, where did that come from? Where was that sort of driving force behind that?
As it pertains to First Take. Yes. What happened was Skip Bayless was doing First Take. And they were doing it based out of New York. It was called Cold Pizza. And they had just a regular conventional sports talk show, and they had incorporated debates for a segment here or there with Skip Bayless and Woody Page. Well, a couple years later, they moved it to Bristol, Connecticut, to the headquarters of ESPN, called it First Take, changed the name from Cold Pizza to First Take. And then one of these days, a guy by the name of Jamie Horowitz was an executive here, and he took over First Take for a short period of time. He did a focus group. And the focus group said, we don't want all that other stuff. We want debate. And so he took First Take from a conventional show and changed it into an all-debate format featuring Skip Bayless. And that's when it really took off. Of course, Pardon the Interruption was already in play, Around the Horn and stuff like that. But as it pertained to First Take, that's where its real origin came from. Skip was doing it with a potpourri of individuals for a few years. I had been gone from ESPN over a contract dispute from May of 2009 to February of 2011. Skip Bayless was doing his thing with First Take, having the two live stews, Jamel Hill, Rob Parker, and various other people debating against him. And then in 2012, they weren't satisfied with the numbers. They weren't satisfied with the ratings, the level of revenue that was being generated. Skip Bayless comes to me in the parking lot. On the campus of ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut. And he says, I know you got your plans. You love the NBA. You love being out on the road. You love being in the locker room. But he said, but I need you. He said, I've done all that I could to take this as far as I could go. I need you to do this for me, please. He said, I just need 3 years. He said, I think we'll knock it out the park. I thought about it. Those were clearly my best options. They weren't about to give me my own show or anything like that at the time. I thought about it for a couple of days. I said, all right, I'll do it. 1 month later, we were number one. And we've been number one ever since. And so when it skyrocketed to that point, it was like, oh, shit, I didn't see this coming. I knew we'd be successful, but I didn't know we'd skyrocket to the number one morning show. And it happened a month after I arrived, and it's never changed.
We talk about the chemistry all the time with things like this. Did you feel that chemistry right away?
Yeah, we always had the chemistry. Skip and I used to work at Fox together. Jim Rome is Burning.
Yeah.
He had that show on ESPN. It was called The Last Word when he was on Fox, and we would be in Fox studios off of Pico Boulevard and Avenue of the Stars, which I absolutely loved. The palm trees, the sunshine, lunch outside with 90-degree weather, sunshine beaming down, and y'all just loved it, and they did a pilot with Skip and I because Skip and I used to debate all the time, and we never agreed on anything. But I love the fact that, again, he stood for what he felt. And his whole thing is, this is what I believe, and I can make that argument. Now, no matter how much I disagreed, I respected the fact that that's how he felt, and that was an argument that he could make. So we would debate sometimes in the hallways. And then the executives saw us one time. They watched him do his work. They watched me do my work when I was on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. And they said, let's create a pilot. And we created a pilot that was called Sports in Black and White. And they were basically trying to create it to go up against PTI. And we did it. They loved it. We were in contract talks, the whole bit. And at the 11th hour and 59th minute, the head of Fox, David Hill, pulled the plug and said, this is not what we want to do. And so from that moment on, that was in the year 2000. From that moment on, Skip and I had always wondered what it would be like if we had worked together, because we had kept in touch throughout the years. So when the opportunity finally came and he approached me in that parking lot, that was what he brought up. This is unfinished business. We were supposed to do this 12 years ago, but here we are again, and this is our opportunity. Stephen A., I need you to do this for me. And by this time, I was coming on once a week because I had returned in 2011, and then a few months in, I would come on every Wednesday, and the ratings would blow up. And he said, I need you to do it.
Did your relationship with Skip ever fracture? Was there any contentiousness there?
Never. The only time anything came close to that was when I knew he was leaving before he told me. And I was like, what the hell's going on? You know, and so I confronted him because for better or worse, I'm a straight up guy. You know, if I work with you and all of a sudden I'm leaving, you ain't going to find out from somebody else. You're going to hear from me. I'm going to come looking for you to tell you. I'm going to give you the news face to face. And I was hearing it, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then when he confessed to me what had transpired between his negotiations with the company, I understood why he couldn't tell me in the immediate moment. But that's literally the only thing that we've ever had any kind of issue about, and that lasted for like 6 hours.